I think the sound might be
Okay,
good this time.
let's hope the sound is good because I'm not going to wear this funky little headset that my husband uses for truck driving for our podcast every time if the sound is not good. I will not have it.
Okay.
We
Well,
do for our precious viewers.
I know. And we had so many people just say, just keep trying, just keep trying. We love you, just keep trying. So thank you so much.
But we have to be honest though. Debbie, it did cross Debbie and my mind at separate occasions for us just to forget this whole podcasting thing. We were like, okay, no more. I'd rather be knitting and designing, and that's all. But when she had her day to say, she was like, she was texting me, let's just forget it. I'm like, no, 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 we can't do that. And I had my day and I said, let's just hang it up. She's like, no, 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 we can't do that. So,
Uh,
okay,
so here
well, who
we go.
are we? I guess we should introduce ourselves as we chat along.
Yes, we are the Periscoping Sisters. I'm Debbie, and I live in Southern California. And I'm
I'm
the younger
Amy and
sister.
I live in Georgia. Yes, of course. She's the younger sister.
Yes.
I am the older sister by 1 year. I am Amy. I am Inked Indigo on Instagram and Indigo Amy on Ravelry, and I live in Georgia. However, Debbie's not in Southern California right now. Where are you, Miss Debbie?
I am in Vegas, baby.
And why are you in Vegas?
I hopped on a plane and flew over to Las Vegas to come see the grocery girls because the grocery girls are in town in Vegas with their
Oh,
mom.
so fun.
And we're having a great time. We really are. We're back in the rooms right now, taking a little break and breather. We're going to meet up again for dinner. And Lolo did it. Is meeting us for dinner tonight. Can you believe it,
I know.
Lauren?
I messaged Lauren earlier and I said, "Will you give my sister a hug because I'll miss her? Will you give her a hug for me when you see her?"
I
She
wish
said,
you
"I
were.
sure will."
I wish you were here, Aim.
I know. I only have I have limited time off from work, obviously, and Ronnie and I are going to go for 4 or 5 days back to the beach over Labor Day weekend. So 2 more weeks, and we're going to go back to the beach. Just the two of us. We're leaving the kids at home. So,
That'll be so.
but Rhinebeck's coming up, so we'll see
Yes,
each other at Rhinebeck pretty soon.
yes. Only a couple weeks away.
Yeah. So since um, we both had pretty good speed on our internet, and we're trying to figure out this FaceTime, and now I've got this conglomeration on my head, so maybe that'll work. This may be our shortest podcast, but it may be our best one yet.
I know.
So let's hope.
Okay.
So we're going to talk. We're going to talk about a couple little things. You brought a couple things on your little trip to Vegas. Do you want to show the couple things you're working on?
Sure, I can show the couple things. The first thing I've been working on is my second sock of my Winnie colorway from the Legacy Knits Gals. And
Looks like it's washed out a little bit. Just I don't know, probably because it's so
because I'm
bright.
sitting in
That's a
front of
little
the
better.
window and it's pretty sunny
Yeah,
outside. Does that look better?
yeah, that looks pretty.
I don't know.
What are you doing? A blueberry waffle?
No, this is called vanilla latte. It's basically a
Oh,
6x2 rib, and the rib is
mm.
garter instead of just plain rib. So you do
Oh,
one
pretty.
row where you rib, and then one row where you just knit straight. And then
Ah,
I
okay.
started my heel flap. You can see I'm doing an
Very nice.
partridge heel.
Yep.
Then I'll do the Dutch heel turn like this one. If you can see that. This is the first sock that I finished.
Pretty.
Yeah, and I'm really
That's a
impressed
pretty
with this
colorway.
yarn. You know why?
Why?
Even though it's an indie dyed yarn, look at how the second sock is knitting up compared to the first sock. They're identical. There's no
They
like fading of the color.
ah
You know how some. Did you
yeah.
see Nina's post with the two socks side by side? She was pulling from the inside and from the outside.
Oh
One
yes, yes,
was
yes.
really heavy, and the other one was like
Yes.
cream. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
And look at how even that is. It's like
And
perfect.
maybe the indie dyer would say, well, it's supposed to be that way. Don't say anything to them. So since we're speaking of socks, and it's funny that you're with the grocery girls, we're kind of having our little own sock talk. Sock talk. Sock talk. Well, I spent a little bit of time the last 2 days in the car. I got home from work a little early on Friday. My husband had a doctor's appointment, which is about an hour away. So I rode down in the car and knitted and started a sock in the car. And then yesterday we had to drive down to meet my stepdaughter and pass off a laptop to her. So it was about 3 hours in the car knitting. So just between those 2 days, look what I finished.
Amy, so how many hours do you think it took you to knit that? That is gorgeous.
Thank you. And I actually knit a little bit on the toe when I got on the elliptical machine today for the first time. And it does, okay, so within the first 2 rounds, my ball fell on the floor. And so then I'm like, what if it gets caught up in the arm thing? I'm in trouble big time.
You have to hang a project bag on the arm thing and then put your ball in there, and then you can knit right out of the project bag.
Okay, so, all right, I'll try that.
Okay.
So then I dropped a stitch and I recovered the stitch. It went down 2 rows, so I recovered that.
All while on the elliptical? You're still...
While on the elliptical, yes, I'm on the elliptical machine.
I'm impressed.
Okay, and then, after you're knitting after you're doing it for 30, 40 minutes, then your hands get a little sweaty. Mm-hmm. So then it's not gliding through your finger. And so you're having to slow down. And my husband said, my God, this sucks. Your hands are sweaty. I said, it's going to be on my toes. It's going to be on my foot anyway. Who cares if it's kind of sweaty and stinky?
Right.
Yeah, so it came out really, really pretty, I think.
I showed your picture to Tracy and Jody, and they said, I would knit that pattern. She needs to write that pattern up. That's really pretty. Well, I really like how it turned out, Aim.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah.
So we figured out it's serendipity, like you had said, from Hedgehog, right? Is Hedgehog?
Right.
Serendipity. And this one is got gold stellina. This is kind of cream, but it's also got little shades of light turquoise and pink. It's from Sweet Sparrow Yarns. It's called Mother of Pearl.
It looks just like Mother of Pearl. Beautiful.
Yeah, it really does. And I've decided I have already ordered. I ordered 2 skeins today from, who did I order from? I forget, but lamb strings, little lamb strings. Is it little lamb string? Lamb strings, little lamb strings.
I've heard of them.
Yes, Sue was showing some really beautiful yarn that was sent to her. I saw on the podcast today, so she enabled me. I want to get a gray, just a regular, and I think I bought the cobblestone colorway that Sue also had. And I also want to get just a regular plain cream because you know how much I love stripes. So that cream and gray is really great to stripe alternating with either variegated yarn or gradient yarn or if you want to do Franken socks and stuff like that. So
that would also look really pretty if you had a gradient yarn and then in between you did the cream and you did those Pixel Rise by Raybot.
Oh.
Embers. Have you seen those?
Yes.
You don't want to do color work?
Well, what I'm afraid of, first of all, I'm doing on 9-inch circs. So I don't know how tight or loose, and that really does
affect your gauge.
It affects your gauge. And also Nessa's. I really want to do I Heart Bees, but that's a fairly stiff sock just because of the cabling. It looks like a honeycomb. It's very beautiful. It's not like real stretchy. And this is the first time I've ever tried a 3x1 rib, a 3 purl 1. And, of course, I called Mother when I was in the car. I said, I've got a knitting 911 question. She said, okay. And I said, have you ever done a 3x1 rib for a sock? And she said, well, I'm sure I have, but why would you do that? I said, because
I want to.
I've never done that because I want to try it. And then I texted Sue, and she was in the middle of pulling all her yarn out of her dye pot. So she said, sure, it'll be stretchy enough. Sure, it'll be fine. So I went with it. And it looks like it's fine. So I can't wait to cast on the second one. So what else have you brought? I know what you've brought. Let's show us what else you've brought to Vegas to knit on.
How do you know what else I brought? Did I tell you what
because I asked you. Yes, you told me.
Oh,
that was
okay.
like one of the first questions I asked you when you were packing last night. I was like, what are you taking for knitting? Because it's very important.
So I forgot to tell you which bag my little socks are in. My socks are in my Mrs. Brown's bag.
Oh, awesome? I love that.
Oh, and I can show you what else I brought. This is the next pair of socks I'm making. Oh, you really can't see that. Too bright.
White socks? Are they
Well,
white socks?
no, they're not white
Hold
socks.
them up to your hold them up to your new hair. Does
Okay, my
everybody
new
like
hair.
Debbie's new hair?
This is my sock yarn from Hedgehog, the popsicle one. Is that better?
Oh yeah, the popsicle.
I
No,
hide
it's
it.
really not.
Is this any
The
better? How's
popsicle.
this?
The that's perfect.
Can you tell what that is?
Ooh, yes, it's bright yellow. It's a
That's
highlighter?
Connie's yarn that she sent me that I
Yes.
showed last time. Well, maybe I could do that
Yeah.
with this one. Hang on.
It may catch on fire just showing it so brightly. Yes. The popsicle colorway was the colorway that I used to knit your Don't Touch Those Leaves and then ripped out the whole sock. Ooh, that's going to be pretty with Connie's yellow, Debbie.
That's terrible. So anyway, that's my next sock, and that was my socks are living in my Mrs. Brown's bag with my little. I love her little Russian doll she had on there, my little snip.
So cute.
And then the next project is living in my awesome granny. Awesome granny.
Oh my gosh, so is mine, Debbie.
Really?
Yes.
Perfect. These bags are awesome.
I know they are. I don't know if Granny's awesome or not. She probably is, but I'm telling you what, her bags are awesome. She should have named her Etsy shop Awesome Bags by Awesome Granny, but I know that's a lot of awesomes, but they really are awesome. And she's probably awesome too.
And she probably is awesome, but I'm not kidding you about these bags. They're great. I wouldn't say that for nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what is in my awesome granny bag.
Oh, Debbie, that's looking so pretty. How many inches do you have?
Oh, now it's a contest. Now you're going to be ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
You're done. Are you done?
No, I'm not done. No, I'm not done. I need to pull it out now that we've got the other project finished. I probably have about
the other project.
10
the pattern
inches.
calls for 16. Now don't forget. Do you have your gauge swatch still? Because remember,
yes, I
the gauge, when you block it, this blocks out, and you gain a lot of inches.
Lengthwise?
Yes, yes. So you have to measure. You have to measure how tall, like 2 repeats are.
Oh.
And figure out how many repeats you need to do to get 16 inches. Because
I'll probably have a trench coat instead of a cardigan. I'm sure of it by now. Dang, I forgot that. Okay, yes, I do have my swatch, not in my bag, but I'm going to have to find
repeats?
out.
How many full repeats do you have? Like, how many full-on diamonds do you have?
Full diamonds? I've got 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, and I have 5. And I have my swatch. Hang on a second, because it's in my suitcase, and my computer is sitting on the suitcase. Let's see if I can pull it out. Yeah, here. Okay, so see how much more open that is? I don't know if you can.
Yes, I see that.
Compared to, like, I don't know if you can.
I wonder if it's greater than 2 inches, because if I have 8 and it's...
If I lay my swatch down just on top of this without stretching it out, 2 full diamonds is about 3 diamonds.
Oh.
So
okay, well, I will.
You need to measure your swatch.
I need to measure my swatch.
It's a good thing we talked about this.
Well, I'll do that. Yes.
So I am loving this yarn is Quince & Co. Lark, right?
Yep,
that's what
mine
we're
too.
using.
Yep, that's what we're using.
And I don't remember the name of mine. I don't have the name tag with me. Yes.
I do. Mine's the Audine. It's a bird. It's a type of bird. Can you see that tag?
Oh, yeah. Audouin.
Somebody told me it was a type of bird. Must be a type of bird that's this color.
Probably.
It wouldn't be black, or the yarn would be black. Duh.
I want to say mine's Kittywake, maybe. Does that sound familiar?
Yes. That is. That's what yours is, Debbie. Yep.
I love it. I cannot wait. I have to get working on this, so I'm going to work on this tonight after dinner, I think, if I'm still awake enough. I didn't tell you I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning and could not get back to sleep.
I almost messaged you this morning, and I said, oh, my gosh, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
I was awake.
Probably still asleep. I should have messaged you.
I was totally awake.
I should have texted you.
And it was so cute because I came over to the lobby over here at the Bellagio. Over at the Bellagio. I'm not at the Bellagio, but I went over to the Bellagio to just hang out and wait for them to get here, and I was Tracy texted me and said, we're coming in the side entrance. We're trying to check in. And she said, we still have our bags. And I said, okay, well, I'll come down to the lobby, the main lobby. I'll just wait over there under, the glass flowers that are in the main lobby.
Yes.
So I was sitting down there and I hear this little voice say, Debbie? And I look over and there she is. And I'm like, hi. And it's their mom, I have to tell you, their mom is so sweet. She's just like them. She's just like the two of them. So outgoing and just talkative and just so sweet. She bought me lunch and she treated me just like one of her girls. She's just so sweet.
Well, you and I were talking and Debbie was just like, I don't know. It's not that I'm not afraid they're not going to like me. It's just, I don't know. It's weird because they're here with their mom. And
I feel like I'm totally crashing their party.
Well, and I said to Debbie, I said, we all have these, I guess, internal things that we think we know about people because we feel like we know them, just like people who we've never met or even spoke to or heard their voice. They feel like they know us, and which is perfectly fine. So I said to Debbie, I said, you're probably going to meet them and say, well, you're not tall. I pictured you tall. Like, so the first thing, once Debbie said, they're coming in the lobby. And I said, send a picture. So she sent a picture of the three of them. And I said, the next thing I texted, I said, is Jody tall? And she said, no, Jody's 4'9". And then she said, oh, I'm only kidding. That's just kidding. No, she's as tall as I am. She's like 5'7". So so funny. I said, you could see, you think of people a certain way and then you see them in real life. And you're like, I didn't know you were a little person. You look really tall, like sitting at the table. So funny. They're probably just exactly the way they are, as we know on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's weird. So I think it helps that they've seen us podcast because I'm not just a stranger.
They kind of know us.
They kind of know us like we feel like we know them. So when we got together, it was just like normal. And we're chattering, talking about the kids and, asking about the husbands. And they were telling me about their gathering with Jenny and Marcia and Scylla. Yeah, they had a really nice time. And
so then you went straight over to the orange store.
We ate lunch first. Then we went to the
priorities. Seriously, priorities, girls.
Do you want to see what I bought
Definitely
at the
comes
orange
first.
store?
Yes, I would like to see what you got at the orange store.
Okay.
And then I'll show you a couple things I got in the mail this past week.
Okay, this is exclusive to Sin City. Because the lady that owns or at least runs the shop, her name is Debbie also, and she actually dyed this yarn. And
she dyes yarn herself?
Yes, this is called Sin City, and it's called Roll the Dice.
Oh, Debbie.
Can you see the card, or is it getting
how pretty? Yes, no, I can see it.
It's 180. Yeah, it's like a deep. It's a deep midnight blue, kind of, almost a teal.
All the way to turquoise,
and it goes all the way. And the way it's dyed, I don't know if you can tell. It's almost like speckly. She said it was a mistake at first, and someone came in and they.
Was it supposed to be a gradient or something?
It's a gradient. It's a gradient, but there's like specks of the dark in the light and specks of the light. It's almost like tie-dye
opposite
kind of as it goes.
Yeah.
And
did she wind it for you? Was it already made?
It was already caked up, and she sells them in cakes. Nice. And it's 7 to 9. It's a worsted weight. And so she gave me 2 different patterns that I can pick from.
Did she recognize you?
No, she didn't.
Has anybody had a fangirl moment?
No, we haven't had any fangirl moments yet. Hey, I had a fangirl.
Wear your dark glasses and your scarf. Just so nobody recognizes you.
I had a fangirl moment when Tracy and Jody came into the lobby.
You're so silly.
So this is one. This is the hat. I don't know. It was a free pattern. I don't know.
You're gonna make a hat?
It kind of looks like. Can you see?
Oh yes. Ooh, that's pretty, Debbie.
And she had a sample. She had a sample, and when it goes from dark up to light, it looks really cool. And then this is a cowl, and she actually knit this up. The picture, she designed this. It's a cowl, and she designed it for the yarn. I don't know if you
can. Ooh, that's pretty, Deb. And that uses worsted weight.
One skein, and it's just like a sits right here just to sit underneath your jacket and just be warm enough to keep your neck warm. I could probably
Very
make
nice.
this and give it to Abby, and she would love it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really soft, and the color.
You need more friends that don't live
Living.
in California, live in cold weather areas.
Would you like the cowl or the hat?
I can't wear hats.
Cowl.
I'm gonna have a cowl, and because I have short hair, and short hair, I mean, you look like a little elf once you put your hat on. But you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna knit a wide headband for Rhinebeck, so my hair will stick up out top, but it'll keep my ears warm just in case.
I might have to do that
So
too. I might have to do that
it'd be
too.
fun.
I should have got more than one. I don't know. We'll see. I can always call up the shop and have her send me one. I bet you she would ship one to me
I'm sure
if
she
I
would.
asked her. She would remember us because we were there for a little while. We had to wait for the.
Now that you're hanging out with the grocery girl, she's like, "Oh yeah, you're the one that was tag tailing
She
along
didn't
with the
know the
grocery
grocery girls
girls."
either. I don't think any of the ladies at that shop watch podcasts. It was funny
They
because
probably don't think they probably don't even know they exist.
I know I don't think they do because I asked the lady that was sitting at the table with us. I said, Do you watch podcasts?" I said, "Do you know who these two are?" And Tracy's like, "Shh, be quiet." And then she said, "And she is too. She's also a podcaster." So she's like, the lady's like,
She's gonna go
"Really? Let
home.
me look on YouTube." And she was looking us up.
She knew what YouTube was. I was gonna say she was gonna go home to her husband and say, you know, there's some very strange people that live in our town, and three of them showed up talking about all kinds of crazy things like they were celebrities. I don't know what was wrong with them, what drugs they were on, but they were there.
She didn't have to tell her husband when she got home because her husband was sitting right there across her.
Oh, okay. Then she didn't have to tell her husband because he experienced it himself.
At least I
Okay,
think that
well,
was her husband. Okay, what'd you buy?
you what?
I said at least
Um,
I think that was her husband. I don't know for sure.
oh, you'll see some real, well, as you know, you've been to Vegas before. You know what crazy things happen in Vegas. Okay, so you posted on Instagram. I did not post on Instagram because I wanted to show it on our podcast. Um, you know, Yarn Cafe Creations.
Yes.
How sweet. I love this yarn. I mean, Christy is the best. And she's just like, I want to gift you guys a yarn of your choice. And you posted, well, okay. So Debbie and I had a fight on text because we wanted the same yarn. And so I was the bigger of the two
You were this time.
this time, and I let her have it. So I picked something else, which they're all so beautiful. And I swear to you guys, her sock yarn is like, it's so plump. So I chose, it's called Fresh Cut, and she threw in a complimentary heels, toes, and cuffs.
That's what she
Isn't
did with
that,
mine too. She put
oh my
orange with mine.
gosh, isn't
Oh,
that
man.
absolutely beautiful? It's got little pops of green, just like fresh cut flowers.
That's really pretty.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Is that going to be your next
Thank you. Thank
cast
you.
on?
It might be. It might be. And the only reason I didn't start these um, as my socks because I hadn't caked it up yet. And she even asked me. She says, "I'll cake it for you." I'm like, "Nah, I would have." Let me show you what else I got. So thank you, Christy. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
That was
you,
so
Christy.
sweet.
If I
She's
was at
so
home, I'd
sweet.
be showing yours too, but I couldn't bring all that stuff with me to Vegas. So,
She's out of Utah.
Herbert
Yarn
City.
Cafe Creations. I mean, you guys, you would think all of her yarn had cashmere or something in it. Oh my gosh, it is so glorious. Okay, so I got, and this is something else that I got that I totally forgot that I bought two skeins of. But this is my thoughts. When you buy overseas, when you buy a yarn from overseas, from wherever you are, you must buy more than one skein. It's almost like a wasted trip for the postman if you buy one skein. Like, what is that about? You must buy at least two or three. I don't know why people are thinking. Okay, so this is by Fido Design Fiber. It's hard to say, well, it's hard to spell more than anything. Let me hold up their Fido. It's PH.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous indie dyer. So I've got one of it's 80/20. This one is called Sea Glass.
Oh, wow.
And then I got an MCN called Calypso. I got two Calypsos.
Oh, Amy,
Isn't
that
that
is,
absolutely gorgeous?
that reminds me, the sheen on that and the color palette reminds me of Eden Cottage yarns.
Yeah. And you know what I was actually thinking, because Pure Joy takes a good chunk. How about Pure Joy, and this being the solid at the end, because it
Yes,
takes a good, what, 500 yards or so? Wouldn't that be beautiful, Pure Joy?
that would be gorgeous. Gorgeous.
So,
And so
so this
soft
is
with the
just, oh
MCN.
my gosh, it is. It's old world elegance for modern knitters. So beautiful. Sea glass and calypso.
I
So it's
love
Fido
that.
designs and fiber.
What
Must,
is
must,
what is
must go
that with
over.
an expiration date? I don't get that.
Oh, this is, oh, sorry. This is the piece of paper that came. It's actually, you get a discount
Oh,
up into a certain until the end of September.
oh. Okay.
So
Don't
that was
show
just
that.
that. I'm just showing the name, and you had to be nosy and ask.
I'm
So I just am being honest. I'm sure everybody gets the discount code, not just me. Like I'm thinking I'm really all that, but I'm really not. So anyway,
well. You
so
get it
those are my only two
if you're a
purchases.
customer.
Well, yeah, if you go, I mean, a lot of indie dyers do that, and I think that's a really good idea. If you get 10% off or 25% off or free shipping if you order another order within a certain period of time. It's like when you go on a cruise, the day before you get done your cruise, they say get half off your next cruise, but you must book it before you step off the ship.
Right.
So while you're still drunk and while you're still high on the cruise, then you say, "Oh, let's do it." See, once you get home and sober up and then realize what your credit card looks like, you won't book another cruise. So it's good marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, so guess what?
What?
Our random act of color is finished.
I know. Our knit along.
How about, oh my gosh, how about those beautiful, it makes me want to knit more, but I can't because I haven't even finished my first one. Well, okay, I have finished the prototype long ago. I'm still working on
The
the one
real
for the
one.
knit along, the real one, but it's very enjoyable, even though I haven't worked on it in a while, because Debbie and I have been feverishly knitting on our mystery knit along and getting that finished. So now we have to get serious. We need to get our Rhinebeck sweater done, and I've got to get my random active color done. So since we're talking about our random active color, the knit along is finished. We pulled prizes just before we came on, right?
Right.
Do we even know what the prizes are?
I have a beautiful skein. I wish I had popped it in my suitcase. I have a beautiful skein of pinky, purpley, merino, a full, beautiful hand-dyed skein by Miss Dr. Christine Kelly of Halcyon.
Yes.
And that's
Oh,
what the
okay.
giveaway prize is.
Yes, and the other giveaway, since we're going to do one for the finished object and the other one for the chatter thread, I have some of Herb's Black Regina.
Oh,
What was that colorway that I got a
aquarium.
bunch of? Yes, aquarium. So what we'll do is, if you take a picture,
And
and I'll take a
stitch markers.
picture. Oh, and
Stitch
stitch markers
markers.
too. Yes,
Those sock
stitch
stitch
markers.
markers.
Yes. What we'll do is we'll take a picture and do it in pic collage, and we'll put them next to each other, and the two winners will put it on Instagram, and we'll
Okay.
message, and we'll let maybe the finished object, we'll let the finished object winner pick which one they want. And then
Oh,
the other
okay.
one will get it. The other one.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
are we ready to tell who they are? Because we picked them already.
Yay!
Okay, so the finished object winner for the random act of color is the name Quiet Zone on Ravelry. Her name is Teresa. Yay, Teresa! And it was beautiful. It was gray, like a light gray, a dark gray, and a speckle. Did she use Lolo Did It
He
yarns?
did.
Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. I should have showed a picture of it, but beautiful, beautiful.
She was
And so,
post, was it 13? We didn't write the post numbers down, but I remember 13 for some reason. Lucky 13?
let me see if I can find it, Debbie.
Can you pull it up? She used the zombies colorway, the same colorway I'm using for my mystery knit along. The teal blue with the gray and the specks of orangey red.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Really
Hold on a
pretty.
minute. Let me pull up that finished object. Of course, we were going to do all this off camera, but I wanted to show hers because it was so, so beautiful. Was it 13, Debbie, you think?
I don't remember. I could try and find it too. Can you search by name? I wonder if you can search by name. Well, you guys should just go over to the thread and look. I don't remember what it was.
Here it is. Yes, it was number 13.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm. You were right, Debbie.
Oh, pretty.
Do you see the whole thing?
Yeah. Move it over to the side a little bit so it's in the middle. There you go. Nice. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
That is gorgeous.
Okay, so the person who won the chatter thread was Sparkle Nick. And I don't know their first name. I'm assuming maybe it's Nick or Nikki. Sparkle Nick. So we will be messaging you. We'll put something up on Instagram. Or I guess we'll have to message them in Ravelry because we don't know their Instagram names. So we'll send them a message and see if we can't. We'll let Teresa pick which one she wants as far as which prize.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about our next big event that's coming along, our mystery knit along.
And I can't believe the response we've had.
I know already.
Instagram. I am so amazed at everybody that said, "I got my yarn. I can't wait. When is it? When is it starting?
Got the pattern. How do I get?" And there's a lot of people that asked, just like less than a year ago, I guess it was October a year ago, was my first knit along. It was with Curious Handmade.
Yeah.
The Summertide knit along, mystery knit along. I said to Debbie, I messaged someone. I said, how do you do this? Like, how do you sign up? And somebody asked me that. It's very easy to sign up. You go over to Ravelry, you put in the word 3, the number 3, and I will get it eventually. I'm not even drinking anything other than water.
Okay.
You put in the number 3 and then you put pips, P-I-P-S. And you're searching for the pattern under the pattern search. And it'll bring up our little logo with the 3 little peas in a pod. And it says buy it now, you buy it. And for right now, it's sort of the information page and it has what you need as far as materials. Now, Lolo did it. As you guys know, Lauren, who Debbie's going to meet for dinner tonight, lucky her, all the celebrities going to be hanging out together. She is putting together many 3-color combos. And if you have any questions, message her. She will help you. We are recommending 1 variegated and 2 tonal / solids for this mystery knit along. So the first Clue comes out September 3rd, which is 2 weeks from yesterday. So I figured if they come out on Saturdays, then I can get up Saturday morning and not have to worry about work and, oh my gosh, did I put the update up? And what will happen is once you buy the pattern, every time I put a new update, a new clue comes out, you'll get another email with the next clue. So that's sort of how it works. So there's going to be 3 clues, 1 week apart. And there's actually 4 chances to win something. So there's going to be, speak up if you'd like, or you can just let me chatter on. So there's going to be Ravelry threads in me and Debbie's group, Periscoping Sisters. Of course, the Grocery Girls are going to put up a thread. And Sue and Chelsea of the Legacy Knits podcast. And Lolo, if you buy all 3 of your yarns from Lolo Did It, Lauren, you can enter her giveaway in her Ravelry group, Lolo Did It.
I just want to say, go ahead, finish your thoughts.
Yes. I was going to say, did I miss anything?
I was just going to say that I was really surprised at how quickly this knit, how fast it knit, how really relatively easy it is. It's really simple. And how little bit of yardage one of the colors used. So it's a great stash buster. If you go on and you buy the pattern, it's only, the 3rd color is only it's under 100 yards. I mean,
yeah.
So if you buy 3 full skeins for this project, you're going to have a lot left over to make another shawl or socks or whatever you
want. What would be really fun? I mean, who would want to knit the random act of color and then use the same colors to do the mystery knit along? That would be boring to have 2 wraps with the 3 same colors.
But you could
but
swap.
swap with somebody else.
Oh, wow.
Like if you
Yes.
saw somebody who had a wonderful random active color and you're like, I love those colors,
That's a
you might
great
could swap
idea.
out for this one or for something else in the future because both wraps really are
A lot of
very
yardage at the end.
left over.
So here's an idea. If
Okay.
you want to do that and you want to go into the thread of our finished objects and you see another group of colors, message that person. You never know. Maybe they'll swap
Yeah.
with you. That would
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Because we
Yeah.
had at least, I don't remember whether we had
I'll tell
enough
you,
for
color
color
A is
A.
about 285 yards. Color B
Was it
is
really that much? I guess it was. It was just over
240 yards. 240
just
yards.
o- just
Color
over
B,
half the skein. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Color B is about 185 yards, and color C is about 92 yards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so exciting. Okay, so the mystery of knit along is 3 pips, 3 peas in a pod. You can
And
get the pattern now on
and
Ravelry.
someone asked, but they were asking where we found our logo.
Okay, so Debbie is really good on her iPad and she creates really incredible things. And Debbie said, well, just sketch something up, Amy. What are you thinking? So I literally took a piece of paper and a pencil and I drew that picture and you
I just
traced it.
no, I didn't trace it. I just
You
redrew it.
redrew it on the, and added the color
Yeah,
and voila, there it is.
that was really fun. That was really fun to create the logo and have it be
Yeah.
part of the picture. Oh, do you have a visitor?
I do have a little visitor. You have to just stand here real close to me.
Hi, Sky. She can't hear
She's
me.
saying hi, but can you hear him?
Hi.
Love you.
Okay. Okay, I'm almost done, baby. Yeah, she said hello. Okay, all right. Okay, so anyway, so we've got that taken care of. So September 3rd is the first clue, so make sure you go get your yarns, variegated and two-tonal or solids. And honestly, you guys, you can use any combination of anything.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you want to use 3 solids or it's going to be beautiful. And like Debbie had said, I mean, this is such a memorizable pattern. So
It's really very simple.
a beginner, it's very, very simple. So even the person that has maybe only knit a couple things, please join. And Debbie and I are easily accessible. I think probably the best way for me, because I get a notification when somebody sends me a private message on Instagram, it alerts my phone right then. So if you have any questions or you're having trouble or you want us to check your yarns, if you're not really sure, we can say, hey, thumbs up, or you might want to think about that one. So
Yeah. I think, you could even have colors that don't have a lot of contrast with each other if you want something that's, more
More muted.
watercolor and muted and soft, or you can do colors that have a high contrast. I think any color combination will work with this particular design. So
yeah, I think so too. Do we have any funny stories? Mother's going to tell us something now. She's going to say it was a really great podcast, but she didn't speak anything about anybody.
Funny stories. You have a Wendy story?
Yeah, like.
Did we tell the story? Did we tell the story about when we went to the Chinese place? I think you told that on a Periscope, but you didn't tell it on the pod.
I don't think we ever did. The spinach story. Okay, so, and this is...
Dad will pee his pants if you tell that story.
Okay, certainly Dad remembers the story. I know there's a lot of people that watch Orange is the New Black. Debbie has not watched it. It is not a G-rated show. But when my stepdaughter was here, we started watching it. Sky was not here, and then we got hooked. But if anybody watches Orange is the New Black, I know Jody does because she talked about Alex in the past. The crazy eyes girl, Suzanne, I swear, and you guys are going to think Wendy was truly cuckoo. She wasn't truly cuckoo. She never had a diagnosis of being crazy, but I'm telling you what, the girl Suzanne on Orange is the New Black does stuff and says stuff like Wendy. I mean, you never knew what Wendy was going to say. at the time where we were. I mean, you were not safe from almost peeing your pants. Not in church, not at the nice restaurant. It didn't matter because something was going to be said or done,
Jody
and you were going
reminds
to
me
end up.
of her.
Yes,
Jody.
you're going to end up peeing
Yeah.
your pants.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were at the I don't know where Mother was. So it was us three girls. She probably was on call overnight. Dad said, "I'll just take the girls over for Chinese or whatever." But we were not young. We were like teenagers, were we not, Debbie?
Yes, we were at least
We were
teenagers.
teenagers.
We were young
Yeah.
adults.
So we were we were talking about, and there's how well do you know somebody when you're talking with them and there's a big piece of spinach or something stuck? Would you say something to the person and say, oh, you got a little, okay, do you know them or love them enough? So we're talking about that. Of course, we're eating. Wendy takes a piece of spinach or something green. You never really know what kind of vegetables are in Chinese food, but it was a big green something. And she worked it up in the front of her mouth. And she said to Dad, "Do I have anything in my teeth?" And there was this big, and of course, I don't know where Dad was during this whole conversation about things getting stuck in your teeth, but he said, "Oh yeah, you got spinach stuck in your teeth." It was a complete joke from the very beginning, but my dad was just like, "Oh my gosh, how ironic! Wendy really does have something stuck in her teeth."
I
Oh my
think
God, it
we
was so
were
funny.
laughing more at Dad's
Dad, we were.
when we had done that, because when we were like, you and I kind of rolled our eyes like, oh my God, here she goes.
Oh my God, I can't believe.
You know!
I swear, my poor father, he probably was the brunt of many jokes and never realized it at the time.
That's what he gets for
But
having
anyway,
3 girls. Oh my
that's what he
God.
gets for taking us 3 girls out. Yes. So,
Oh.
all right. So there's a Wendy story that was really very comical. I mean, there was never a dry eye, a quiet moment, even in the most serious of situations.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to one funeral in my life for the grandparents. It was Pop Mushek's funeral. I'm thinking Wendy was there.
She
I'm
was.
assuming Wendy was there. Okay, that may have been the only time in the 34 years of her entire life that she actually was serious and quiet. But probably not before we went into the church, and probably not after.
She, I think, was with him when he passed away, or she was there very close
to the
the
time
very
when he passed.
end when Pop passed away. So
yeah,
he was a good man, Pop. But anyway,
and
that story, oh my God.
But isn't Dad turning into Pop? It's like, you remember when Pop, and when he would kind of when he'd think about something, he'd kind of look up in the air and close his eyes.
Do you think Dad does that now?
No, he doesn't do that yet.
Oh,
He will.
I was going to say.
He will. And I swear, old people need to eat all kinds of fiber in order to be able to poop and everything.
Yeah.
You know what Pop had? He had prune juice every morning and a bowl of gravel, grape nuts.
Yeah.
He had a bowl of gravel every single morning, and I think Dad's putting grape nuts in his yogurt. I think he's headed that direction. So
we can cut this conversation off right here before we let traverse down that road.
Okay. That's right. We're not going to traverse that road too far now.
All right. Well, we have
about
43 minutes, which is a good amount of time. I don't know.
It's probably the shortest time we've ever talked.
I know, and I don't know how much editing I can do. I have iMovie on my computer.
Don't, just put it up.
I'll put our opening in. And maybe I'll throw a couple of the pictures of the girls here that I took at the end.
What a perfect place to do Skein 13. Lucky 13 from Vegas.
Oh, I got to play that number tonight on the roulette.
And today is August 21st on Sunday, so we couldn't forget to say that.
Yes, August 21st.
Okay, so anyway.
As much as I wish you were there, this was really fun.
I know.
James said that the guy had to rerun some cable in our house to get it wired, and I did get my upgrade, so hopefully we'll have some good service, because I think that's what really makes the difference, and your headset. I think the headset really makes a difference.
So please, everybody, as much as we're not sick of people telling us how bad the sound is. I mean, okay, so we're sick of hearing how bad the sound is because we listen to it back so we know. So please feel free to keep telling us if the sound stinks. But if it's better, please let us know. So I can keep looking funky like this as long as you can hear me. I don't mind.
You don't look too funky. It looks very fine.
Okay, it's kind of giving me a headache though, so I'm ready to take it off.
Okay. All right.
So if you can't be kind,
be quiet.
okay.
If you dare. I know that's really hard to do for some people.
It is very hard. I'd rather be ugly than to be quiet. No, I'm only kidding. I wouldn't. Please do not play too much of your money on the roulette. I know you love roulette. And since you just got your gorgeous dye color just yesterday,
thank you, Laura from the Fun Knits, for being my inspiration. Don't you love it?
Yes. So since you've got red-ish, you must play all of your numbers on red.
On red. Okay, well, number 13 is black, I believe.
Shoot.
But that's okay. I'll figure it out.
So Debbie doesn't really have a problem with roulette, although she knows that 13 is black and not red. There might be a little issue there with that. So, well, have fun. Tell Lauren I said hello and give all the girls a hug.
I will.
And I know we'll see them soon. I'll see you soon at Rhinebeck.
Okay.
But I miss you. Love you.
Bye.
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 Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.